Hey everybody, so we are doing another Country Roads Take Me Home. I'm here in Hegins, Pennsylvania. I actually just went down to go check one of the Family Dollars I used to do was in Higgins, and that one is no more. Just like Likens has disappeared. There's only a couple of these Schuylkill County ones that still exist. I know Pottsville does. I think Tremont does as well, but I don't know, you just sort of go through these places and see some of the things that you have memories of and are sort of like, that they're gone. But Higgins is a pretty little town here in Schuylkill County. There's actually a church I was just taking photographs of here, which would be Frieden's Evangelical Lutheran Church, which I thought was quite a pretty church. I had to come back through here though because there's a war memorial there as well, and I'm just a little tired on my feet right now. And I actually have over here on the other side is a stone church, which is a United Church of Christ. You guys can see over there. And then the last church here that is along the main straightaway is the St. John's United Methodist Church. So it's sort of cool in these towns. It's a pretty little town. This town was known for the Higgins pigeon shoot, which a lot of people were not happy with. They would shoot live pigeons. Eventually that got put an end to, and it's just sort of how things work. But we are on 25 East for those of you such as Jay that like to follow along on the GPS, the Google Maps, to see where we're exactly at. But this is a small town of Higgins, and we're going to be going over to Route 81 because that's the way I'm going to be going home. But this is sort of a pretty little route through here. It's your prototypical country roads take me home. I do want to go up at some point. I'm going back to Cottersport and Wellsboro. You've seen a couple. I put a Wellsboro pictorial journey short up. That place is stunning. Cottersport is stunning. But there's a couple different roads through there that I happened to be driving at the time. It was like World's End State Park. But there's a road, it's like a 6-mile road. Not terribly long, but a stunning drive. One of the most stunning drives I've ever been on. The road follows, I think it's the Loyalsock Creek, and it just goes on either side of the road. You know, you go over it, you're going right aside of it for the longest time. It's an immersive journey, and I want to go back up specifically to do a couple of the roads up there because they truly are a wonderland and stunning. It's made up of dreams. This is really pretty through here. I always love when you have these valleys going down between two mountain ranges, you know, the Blue Mountains here and Appalachian Mountains technically, and just how everything sort of goes right through and how stunning of a drive it is. Just see this beautiful land that we know as Pennsylvania. You know, all across the country it's beautiful land, but this is just... And these signs, they've been here since the 1700s. They're stunning. That whole corner, ruined. But needless to say, is just beautiful stretch of land. Love the pretty little barn there, the red and white. Prototypical here in Pennsylvania. But this would just be such a beautiful place to live. Oh, sunflowers. Sorry I didn't show that to you guys. Just sort of saw outside my eye. They had 2 long fields of sunflowers. A little smaller. And your cornfields, of course, it's Pennsylvania thing. We like our corn. Seeing a lot more wheat. And you have your Christmas tree farms here as well. Pretty little pond back there. Here's another pretty church as well that I went by. Not quite sure what it is, but it's one of those pretty country churches. It's just sort of out in the middle of the country. They have that stained glass that It's a United Church of Christ 150th anniversary. Not sure if the building is that old. This is the village of Fountain, but there is no Fountain of Youth, unfortunately, for us old people who are decrepit and losing our ability to do our kung fu fighting and all that, even though everybody else is doing it. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Diddle-diddle-doo-doo-doo. Probably gonna get in trouble for that. Like, what was that angelic voice that we just heard? They even have Fountain Road. That's a pretty little split of a road there too, a pretty barn back there. It's always loved, like this road I've taken quite a bit because like I said, we had done the Family Dollar down at Higgins, and that was one of my favorite stores to do because it was incredibly easy. They kept such a clean store. And I actually learned something from the store manager the one time. If you use hand sanitizer, if there is a stain in the floor, like if you have wax tile floors, you put a little bit of that hand sanitizer on it, let it sit on the stain. It'll actually pull the stain out. You don't want to leave it there for more than like 5 minutes or so, but it'll actually pull the stain out of the wax. It's pretty cool. If you leave it on there too long, it'll actually eat away the wax. But it was sort of a cool thing, and I bought a bunch of hand sanitizer, and I'd take that along with me on the road. So if I'd be up in, say, Scranton, and I saw a store that had a nasty stain, I would go put a little bit of that down, let it sit for about 5 minutes, put a cone over top of it, then come back, wipe it off, stain gone. And it was like magic. But maybe not quite, but it made me feel good about myself. Sorry for the windshield being a little dirty. I gotta give Chuck a bath. It's a little stinky and gross right now. Been having a lot of fun with the channel. You'll probably see this about a week after, because right now we're in the midst of doing the 2-day trip that Ralph and I took up through northern Pennsylvania to hit all these abandoned places. Those are the videos that are out right now, and I'll probably be doing over the next couple weeks. I've got some pretty big events coming up the next 2 weekends. This one will probably come out after this weekend. We're going to be celebrating the Coleman Memorial Chapel's 150th anniversary of the laying of the cornerstone. So I'm going to be going to that. You're going to see a bunch of cool stuff from that, like an old-timey baseball game, hopefully, as long as the weather behaves. A lot of neat stuff, and then we'll actually get to visit Elizabeth Furnace, which we've talked about a bunch of times, having that connection with Baron von Stiegel. He named it after his wife, and he had bought it from his father-in-law. And really, really neat. We're actually going to get to see a bunch of the historic buildings there. This coming weekend, I believe that's the 17th and 18th, and then the 24th I will be doing the historic presentation at the Myerstown Isaac Meyer Homestead. I will be doing it Myerstown at a time of war, World War II period, where I will be portraying Daniel R. Fisher, who is a staff sergeant in the United States Army Air Corps, and I will be telling the story of Myerstown from his perspective. And hopefully that goes well. This is the first time I'm going to be doing something like this. I'm probably going to be doing 3 presentations if needed, just depending on when people actually show up or how many people show up. This was in Lebtown, which was pretty cool. I've talked about them a lot. It's a really cool local news organization. They do all the current affairs, but they also do a lot of really cool historical stuff as well, and talk about these neat events and things of that nature that are out there. But anyways, we're going to get on Route 81 here, and then we're probably going to end the video right here, just because it's not safe being on Route 81 trying to do all this. But as always, I want to say thanks for coming along, and we'll see you all about town.